Sagittarius, hello, how are you? I've been in a lot of Sagittarius energy lately. Prepping for travel, prepping to move, prepping for a lot of things that I've had my arrow pointed at for a long time. So I've had some very fond Sagittarius connections coming into my dreams, my waking life, getting little visits from people. You guys are the crown chakra, so you could be getting a lot of downloads, uploads. You could be in IT or something. Could be doing something with computers, right? Launching a new project, career. I ordered another deck on Amazon, and I contacted customer service for another product that the delivery person just threw over my gate, and so it busted it. And so I called customer service to remedy that and, talk about the driver, like, who is this clown? And I saw them actually out of my window when they were putting, they were like boxes falling out, not mine, but other ones. And I was just like, this, I don't know if they were just disgruntled or what, but anyway, I was talking to someone and they were a Sagittarius. Well, they were like, this is an odd question, but I see that you have a tarot deck, and do you read tarot? And I was like, yeah. And they were starting a new job. Well, hopefully starting a new job. They were not sure if they were going to get it, So I did like a little, not a reading, but just a quick little energy read, I didn't do a full tarot reading on them, but anyway, let's see what's going on with you. If maybe you've got something new coming in. Is it work? Is it love? Right? I'm really just focused on my work and foundations and all of that. But always open for love. Love is cool. Right? And love is, especially divine love, is part of the work that you're going to do. So you could be somewhere in between that. We've got a lot of feminine energy here in the masculine placements. We have the Queen of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Cups. All right? And then we have the Queen of Cups in the next one. So you could be dealing with the Scorpio. We have the Death card here. And the Six of Wands, which is self-recognition. So yeah, you could be doing something, launching something online. Something very technical. Could be your own business, could be a passion project. Wands are passion. But with the Queen of Cups here, it does feel like it is something that drives your very soul, right? It feels very deep, and it's something that you adore doing, you love doing. Could be this Queen of Cups. Like you could be, the masculine could have their eye on this Queen of Cups. But see, we have the Queen of Cups with this sort of, and she has the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords does guard the Queen of Cups, right? Could be a Pisces. We've got Pisces and Scorpio here with the High Priestess and the Death card. The Queen of Swords is, this could be it could be same sex, or both of you could be in your feminine energy. So see this, like, chastity, I always think it's like a chastity cup, right? It's like a blocked off chalice. It's kind of like what you would want if you're going out with the girls to the bar, right? So that you don't get, nothing gets in your cup. I mean, I always put like something over my cup just so like hair and stuff doesn't get in it. But I feel like this is the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is guarded. Usually the Queen of Cups is like, la la la, here's my open cup, right? This one, she's sort of like, it's running over. She's got more than enough love to give. This one's kind of like, nah. If they come through, and then these little like the Sphinx gate is like the never-ending story, right? More Pisces energy. The Sphinx gate, where it's like testing the true honor of a man or of the warrior that passes through it. Atreyu has to be, like he has to go in without fear. Make sure that he's like pure of intention. And he can't doubt himself. Right? So there could have been an attempt, and see if a masculine approaches in a feminine energy, right? Then what it does is the feminine has to, in this Queen of Swords energy. Oh, it's really bright and shiny. Shiny. This is a masculine placement of the Empress, right? The Empress has the Queen of Swords at the forefront as like her first line of defense. She guards the heart. And she's very discerning about who she lets in, who is worthy. Right, and see, they both on their thrones, they both have these little cherubs, you know, so it's like Cupid's arrow. So maybe the masculine is the Sagittarius here, but the feminine is definitely showing up. There's a lot of feminine placements here. What about the second Queen of Cups? Okay. Nine of Wands. We got the Six of Wands, Nine of Wands. Yeah, because if a masculine comes in a feminine energy, then the feminine is forced to, right? The Empress or the pre-Empress, right? Because when twin flames come together, they're both at best in their pre-Emperor and Empress energy. But the twin flame connection, the initial connection, prompts them both to go their separate ways and to kind of like elevate their status, and that's frequency wise, energy wise, right? It gets them, they need to focus on themselves. There's some sort of ego shadow that has been triggered through their meeting, through their first encounter. Now, whether you believe that happens in the same lifetime, this could have happened in a past lifetime. If you believe that past lifetimes are maybe like last year, last decade, right? Or if you believe that our past lifetimes go beyond this incarnation, whatever you believe about timelines is true, right? Because your path is relative, your truth of how you get to the divine center of the collective is relative, it's individual. That experience is individual. So if you believe in angels, right, because we have these little cherubs, if you believe in angels, then everything that you see that's somewhat miraculous is going to be, you're gonna say, oh, that was an angel, right? That was an angel that did that. Maybe something with the name Michael. I mean, any of the angel names, but I'm currently watching Michael with John Travolta, so maybe John, which he is an Aquarius, so with the Queen of Swords, keep dealing with an Aquarius. And maybe something with Aquarius season. You could have an Aquarius placement, right? So yeah, if you believe that there are angels, if you believe in science, then all the evidence that you get is you're going to say, oh, yep, it was science. Oh, yep, it was that. You know, if you believe in God, everything that happens is going to be a confirmation of your faith. Of whatever you believe in, whatever your spiritual basis is. So I feel like maybe you have a very particular spiritual basis, or you've branched out from a religious upbringing. And so, I mean, we have these angels here, these little angels that are like little cherubs. And none of them have arrows. And with this Nine of Wands, I feel like the feminine maybe doesn't feel right. Whatever you believe is true. So if you're the feminine and you're like, I'm never gonna meet someone who's worthy enough. No one's ever gonna come through here. Like Cupid isn't pointing their arrow at me. Then you're right. Okay? If you believe that love is coming in, then you're right. If you believe that love is never coming in, then you're also right. Right? So there's something with your own individual. Sable, please lay down. Thank you. Good girl. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Could be dealing with an earth sign. Again, somebody could just be, working on their money. And if you were triggered to go your separate ways, how I was thinking, like, you have to, like, build your status. The masculine, as someone who works in the 3D, right? Masculine is of the 3D. Their idea of status could be having money, right? Or being physically fit or something like that. With the Queen of Swords and Death here, there was definitely an ending. And it could be, if you're the feminine, it could be that you are putting an ending to this guarded Queen of Cups, right? Because this Queen of Swords is looking, she has her back turned to that Queen of Cups, and she's facing, lay down, all the way, thank you. The High Priestess, she's upset with me. This Libra over here. Maybe you're dealing with a Libra with the Queen of Swords. Let's hold on. Thank you. But the Queen of Swords is looking at this I almost said Queen of Cups, but the High Priestess. And with the Queen of Cups clarifying this High Priestess, it could be a Pisces, right? Could be any water sign, but High Priestess is Pisces. That is someone who is tuned into their intuition. That's somebody who listens to their gut, right? And follows what they know to be true. So this Queen of Swords could be like the Queen of Swords that protected this Queen of Cups from, maybe you dealt with a fire sign before, or you dealt with someone, because the Six of Wands is self-recognition, but to clarify this guarded Queen of Cups, it could be that you dealt with someone who was very egocentric, right? And they could have just been and something with that doubt. There was a lot of doubt. Maybe they made you doubt. The Magician. Yeah, the Magician is ultimate self-recognition. This is like knowing that you have the power to create your reality. And so I think that there was a realization that dealing with this person, this past person that you had to lay to rest, like they were actually a very small person. I mean, they might have been small in stature. Maybe they were a shorter masculine and they just had like Napoleon syndrome or something, and they were egocentric and narcissistic, right? But this is you, like, oh, actually, look at this belly full of creation here. I have the power to create, and creation comes from death, so you gotta go. Because you want me to be small, and I'm actually big. Your idea of what status is, maybe this person put you down because of your financial status, or, maybe they made you feel like you were immature, you were just doing things in your own way, right? You were doing things in your own way, but I feel like they made you feel like you were small and insufficient, and maybe they called you stupid, and maybe they gaslit you. They just made you feel like shit about yourself. They made you doubt yourself and your power. And with the Ace of Pentacles over here, maybe that was because, you didn't have the money, and if you're a cycle breaker, you had to learn the hard way. So you may have for a long time looked around at people who maybe they got married and had kids very young, and like everyone around you is like married and has kids or has a house or has responsibilities. It reminds me of a movie I love so much. Used to be on Prime. It might still be on Prime, but I can't find it anywhere to rent it or buy it or stream it or anything, like on DVD even. Anyway, it's called Brittany Runs a Marathon, and she's I think she's 30, and she feels behind everybody, like she's just doing the same thing, but she's got a lot of power and beauty in her. She's got a lot that she's very capable, but she's feels very diminished. She's around people who, she has like a narcissistic roommate / best friend who's really not supportive and just likes her because she's like her fat friend. So maybe you went through like a weight loss, because Pentacles are health and wealth. So maybe you went through that where you were created, maybe you put on a lot of weight with this person. I just feel like you were just not supported. You were not supported, and so you closed off your heart space. You closed off your emotions, right? And that Aquarius energy, like Aquarius, especially Aquarius female friends that I've had, and I've had quite a few, they can seem quite cold, but they're actually very warm and tender. They just don't connect that easily with people. And so, you could have a placement like that, or that could just be like in your nature where you are, and Sagittarius and Aquarius are often like confused behaviorally, and I think just the signs, people confuse them quite a bit. And so yeah, I think there's something about you being misunderstood as being very cold, and yeah, maybe this person thought that you were cold and all of that. When somebody tells you something about yourself so much, it's a projection. First of all, it's a projection of them. They're actually cold, and they're actually emotionally unstable. They're actually immature. They're actually, feel all of those things about themselves. So they put them onto you as a reflection of who they are, right? And so it's like you had that realization that, oh, I've attracted somebody who, yeah, that's what they said isn't true about me, but that also means like I was projecting something because I attracted them to me, right? So I needed to conquer that. I needed to be confronted with someone who treated me so poorly so that I could actually become empowered and realize, like, it had to get so bad that you realized you were powerful. And if somebody tells you something enough about yourself, tells you something about yourself enough, that was a mouthful for whatever reason, you kind of, and your mouth is full. I feel like you got very quiet. Like if someone said that you are cold and distant, but you were actually like, I'm not. Like you're misunderstood constantly. And so maybe you were, they treated you that way. You started to believe it, and then you started to behave it, right? Because our thoughts, our words become our beliefs, and our beliefs become our behaviors. And only when our behaviors and our beliefs are aligned, are we divine. When they match each other is when we are in alignment. There was something like where you realize, like, I've been playing this part. They told me I was cold and distant, so I became cold and distant, and this doesn't feel right either. Like you inhabited a false truth. You inhabited somebody else's truth, which was a lie for you. Someone just like made you like shut off. And then you had to go, well, that's not actually me. That's not me. And I'm leaving her behind. Like, thankfully, I got to this place where I was guarded because, and with this pregnant belly here on this death, like this creation waiting. Maybe you had fertility issues with this person. Maybe they really put down like your femininity of your ability to create, or like you're going to be a terrible mother. Maybe you did have children with this person, but I'm thinking that actually you didn't, and if you did have infertility issues, it was divine protection. Because if you had procreated with this person, especially if you procreate with a narcissist, and if you have done so, then you can attest to this. It's a very nearly impossible road to navigate, to raise a child with a narcissistic parent, to co-parent with one, because they try to get you pregnant, or they try to get you to get them pregnant so that you have that link, because they only have so long, narcissists only have so long before their facade starts to peel away. And so all of those projections, they're going to realize, they choose somebody of status. They choose somebody who is powerful, and then they break them down through this process of projection and devaluation and elimination of support systems or anything like that. So they isolate you, and then they want to get you linked in, hooked in, and that's usually through having kids together, right? Or if that's the thing that you want, if you want a family and you want children, you want to get married, they're going to withhold that from you, right? So that could have been the inverse of that. It could have been the opposite, where they were like, they were like, no, I'm not going to have a kid with you. You'd be a terrible mom. You're cold. You're distant. You're stupid. You don't make enough money. That's specific and ugly, and I don't like it. So let's move on, because I feel like the feminine here, whomever I'm talking about that has gone through this really bad connection, if that resonates with you, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, just because going through that is what made you realize, like, actually, I'm going to be a boss-ass mom. I'm going to be very maternal and protective, and I'm going to crush any little bitches like you who try to come in here and mess with my creations, whether they be children or, it could have been children, or it could have been, because creation is, and Scorpio is the sacral chakra, right? So that's where all of our creative energy comes from. So that can be sexual for biological reproduction, or that can be energetic for any type of project, any type of passion project that is aligned, divine alignment. And so you could have also expressed being like, I wanted to start this business, I want to do this thing, right? Because she's guarded with this Six of Wands, like, I want to start this new process, I want to get online, I want to be an influencer, I want to whatever, like, I want to speak out, this is something I feel like I have something to say. And they could have been like, you have nothing to say. So I feel like you went cold, your mouth was full, like you went cold for a while, and you went into like a mode of silence where you were just like, oh, I have nothing to say, so I just won't say anything. And in that, right, because silence is very powerful. If you haven't practiced silence, I condone that. That's I highly recommend it. It's been life-saving for me as far as reflection, anxiety, depression. It's just such a good reset to go silent. So maybe it got so bad they pushed you into this place where you were like, well, okay, I'm going to be silent. And then in that silence, you discovered yourself. By being observant, by being silent and observing the things around you, you were like, oh, you're actually kind of a pipsqueak. And I'm very powerful and creative. And I think you just started to see their facade, their mask, like, fall off. And the fact that, maybe when you first met, they had like a status. They could have been like a grandiose narcissist. And so they had a lot of people that admired them and all of that. And they would want you to be more successful. But they knew that you had the potential for success. They can sense that, like a predator. They knew that you had the nutrients that they could feed on, right? It's a very meticulous and methodical approach, like any predator, right? It also reminds me of that movie Big Eyes by Tim Burton. with Amy Adams and, oh, his name just went out. The Austrian actor who's awesome, Christoph Waltz, where he like literally puts his name on her work because he's a man and she's a woman in a time where she, I mean, she's the artist, but he convinces her that her work won't get seen if it has a woman's name on it. So it's like this battle, and they're married, you know, so it's this like whole battle where she has to kind of prove herself as an artist, as a woman, as a wife, and all these things, and just realize her power. And you know, maybe you feel kind of resentful to the point that you want this person like to get what's coming to them. Just know like their judgment day is coming. They're gonna get what's coming to them, and you don't need to take any part in that. You don't need to give them any more energy if they lied, cheated, stole, put their name on your work, if they devalued you to the point where you were like a shell of a person. Just know that you filled yourself back up. Depending on where you are in this timeline, right? Because you could be going through this right now. Just know that if you stay tuned in with your truth, your intuition, and follow your gut, which is going to be getting no contact, get away from this person, right? And fill your own vessel up. And see how open it is? You can be open. You can be honest. Your cup can runneth over. You're never oversharing. You're never too much, right? This person made you feel like you needed to be small, and you're not meant to be small. You're big and creative. Like, this person was actually lame. They were lame. So it puts you in this 9 of Wands. Like, okay, so this one looks really pitiful, this picture here. And 9 of Wands is usually like the wounded warrior, being kind of having to hold your ground for a long time, and you're sort of exhausted and you're not sure if your ships are going to come in, if your resolution is going to come, like if judgment is going to work in your favor. You could be going through a divorce with this person, and maybe there's something with the justice system and judgment, right? If there are kids involved, maybe something with custody. But there's something about like getting judgment going in your favor, right? With the Ace of Pentacles, there's sort of this dragon. This could have happened last year. 2024 was the year of the dragon. You could be the year of the dragon. But this actually feels like, yeah, you're waiting on the verdict. You're waiting to see how things are going to go. But again, if you start to feel, if any like doubt creeps in, just know that that's this person. That's the devil working through those around you and through your shadows to make you doubt yourself and make you feel small, because that's where the devil keeps you, right? Because if we realize, if we are self-actualized, if we are in this place of self-recognition, then, and feeling empowered, then we are the magician. We are the creators of our destiny. We are the creators of our reality. And it's really hard to get in and make a magician, someone who knows that they have all the tools, someone who has seen the miracles and has seen the evidence of their belief systems come to fruition. It's nearly impossible to test someone like that. And see, just know, wherever you are in this timeline, that this person who felt like they had the complete control over you, you felt trapped, you know, that's how they wanted you to feel. But once you get to this place of being like a dragon, the source of your fire, the source of your power actually is within, right? It's within you. And so it relies on the breath, right? So there's something with the Queen of Swords, making sure that you just keep speaking truth and you just keep your breath even. And so maybe doing breath work, meditation, right? Those things are always helpful things to suggest to anybody. So they're pretty general, but keeping your fire, like keeping yourself so that you don't let them trigger you right? Especially if you're in a court of law, literally, right? But even in the divine court of law, you know, the 5D court of law or the 3D court of law, either way, keeping yourself even, keeping your elements balanced. That's what the magician does. They balance the 4 aces, okay? So they're not, yeah, it's keeping your finances balanced, keeping your health, your mental, physical health in balance, making sure that you continue to self-care and nourish yourself, keep yourself sober and pure and clear, and just keeping that purity and always speaking truth, right? Truth wins. Truth wins every time. It always wins, right? Now in the 3D court of law, sometimes, you know, there are people who are imprisoned, wrongfully imprisoned or whatever, and yes, there are situations like that. But I think if you believe that that's going to be your situation, then you're right. And if you believe that you have the power to continue, that truth always wins, if you believe truth always wins, then you're also right. So making sure that you keep your thoughts, your words, right? That's swords energy, that's the air energy that we're talking about. Keeping those aligned, keeping your head and your heart aligned, keeping that balance, because that's what the justice system, this is judgment, but it's based on the justice system, 5D or 3D, it's all about balance, right? It's all about keeping things even. If you have to go in, right, and if you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, if you've ever been in a relationship where you had to deal with that situation for a period of time, you know, like you have to keep, you cannot emit emotion because they feed on that like a vampire. They're a parasite. They will feed on that. And so keeping yourself even, and then the moment that you're away from them, get in your car and go park somewhere and cry your eyes out, scream, punch the steering wheel, do whatever you have to do, get it out there, because you need to keep your composure. There's something about keeping your composure, and they taught you to do this, remember? They taught you to go cold. They taught you to be emotionless. They taught you to guard and protect, right? You were guarded because they told you that your emotions were wrong, but that same tool can be used to your advantage. They didn't realize they were actually prepping you to be the narcissist, right? Because just like a predator, there's also, you know, like ways that the prey disguise themselves and they camouflage themselves, and they get onto, okay, if I have to cross this prairie or this open space, like I know I have to get low. Like they, just as much as the predator gets onto the prey gets onto the predator, right? So now it's like you become the predator's predator, and you're no longer the prey. So you have all the tools, right? Because I feel like there are people at different timelines here. Leave it. Thank you, baby. There are people at different timelines here where... What did we just talk about? Thank you. That's not good. Dogs. Where some people are still in this situation, they haven't had Judgment Day, and so I feel like that was a lot for those people who need, like, they need the empowerment, right? So if you are out of this situation, hold space for the rest of the collective, right? Hold space for the rest of the Sagittarians out there that are going through this, that are struggling through this process. If you have kids, right, hold space for those who don't, right? Because you know how difficult it is. And if you don't have kids, hold space for those that do, because you made it out of that situation, or you're making it out of that situation where, like, you can imagine, if I had kids with this person, this would be really difficult. So we're holding space for each other, right? We're supporting each other in this collective here, in this collective reading, because that's how we get the frequency of the Sagittarian collective to rise up. And then when the Sagittarian collective rises up, their polar sign is forced to rise up, their divine masculine or divine feminine counterparts are forced to rise up. It's not forced, but they're encouraged and called to rise up. And that's every sign will start to be influenced by that, right? Every sign that Sagittarians are dealing with is going to be influenced by that. So this is how we raise the vibration, as we We hold space for those, instead of comparing ourselves or going, well, this isn't my story, right? But if you keep hearing stories of your sign in a lower vibration, remember that's your space, that's your time, that's your calling, is to hold that space and to continue to raise your vibration, to continue to raise your frequency, to call everybody else up to that higher space. So I feel like we need a moment of silence for those who are screaming on the inside, who have to hold their tears in until they get to the car, right? And if you're like, this isn't my situation at all, I mean, I'm not saying you have to stay here or whatever. There's if you don't want to listen to this, then you don't have to listen to this. But if you're on a different part of the timeline, know that it's divine timing is non-linear, right? It's spherical. And so we can expand the collective timeline and hold that space and wait for everyone else, right? We can wait for the others to join us. So we can get to that 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands comes after the 9 of Wands, which means we drop the burden of bearing the weight of others, of bearing the projection of others, of being trapped by the pressure of whatever our circumstances are that are external to us, but that we have been internalizing. Yeah, you guys have a powerful, okay, and then we have the 8 of Wands. Yeah, so 8 of Wands, see, it's spherical, it's non-linear. So the 10 of Wands comes after the 9, but so does the 8, right? Depending on what work you do. The 8 of Wands is paving a new path. It's cutting all this shit down, cutting all this clutter down. And see, there's that Libra. The raven is the Native American zodiac for Libra. It's this message from the divine. You have maybe a letter coming in the mail, some sort of confirmation, like keep focused on your path. 8 is the number of your it's your cycle, your infinity cycle, right? Time folding in on itself. It doesn't, and that's the magician here, right? The infinity symbol there. There's something about your awareness of time, reality, energy, your purpose, this experience, all of your experiences, and your path. It's like it's getting so much bigger. It's expanding. You're getting this awareness that is, and you're gonna look back on that and not like, oh my gosh, I was so, no shame or guilt or anything, or looking back on, but you're gonna look back on that person, that version of you that was trapped, as with love and compassion. Just like you right now can look at others who are maybe not as far on the path, right, that you are. There's no comparison here. It's not, I'm further ahead than you, I'm better than you, whatever. It's like, it is like Brittany runs a marathon, right? They're all in a marathon. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you take, the path is exactly the same, the route is the same, the start and the end is the same. We're taking the numbers off our chest. There is no comparison. There's no awards here. You don't give a shit if you're on the pedestal. And if you are on the pedestal, use it as a platform. Like if you're the first one through the gate, use it as a platform to, okay, I'm done. Now I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to cheer for everyone else. Like, come on guys, come on Sagittarians, let's go. You can make it through this. Like, I feel your pain because I just went through it. And maybe I went through it faster than you. And then there's the people in the back who are taking it slower. And maybe they have a different realization, right? Because the ones who went through it quickly, they didn't have the time in that space to maybe interact with certain people, right? The people who have the water cups. Maybe you did it without any water. Like, good for you. This isn't a competition, right? I feel like there was a lot of competition. So yeah, maybe you and this person, you worked together, everything was together, which is what that type of personality does, is they isolate you to the point where it's like everything is under the lens of them. And when you get out from there and your scope changes and you like expand your lens, it's like, holy shit, there's a whole world out here. And once I'm like through this marathon, guess what? There's a whole city here. And guess what? That city is in a whole state, in a whole country, in a whole world, in a whole solar system. I feel like your perspective, your divine perspective, your divine sight, your intuition, your high priestess energy. You could have a Pisces placement, or maybe check your moon sign. Maybe your moon sign is relates to these other signs. We've got Aquarius and well, I just got Aquarius, but we have Scorpio and Pisces, and then we have the moon here. So something with the moon, it's like your 5D perception is so much bigger. And when you look back on your little 3D perception of your reality that you were in, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, it's kind of like looking at your participation award, or, you know, like the medal that you get for running the marathon, or like the t-shirt that you get. You might put it on years later. Maybe you're like moving. You could be moving, changing jobs. I mean, if you're going through a divorce or anything like that, or separating from a situation that was, I mean, this could be a boss, but this feels more intimate than that with all these cups. It feels more intimate with that. It feels like it was romantic. But I mean, it could be, it all mirrors each other. So if you're in that, if you're giving energy to those type of connections, you're likely giving to those type of connections in work and friends and every other area of your life, right? Because that's where your thoughts, your words, your belief systems are. So yeah, it's like the moon, you're getting into your feminine 5D ethereal intuitive energy with this high priestess here. You're expanding into your moon energy. So maybe you're going to be moving out of your sun sign into your moon energy, right? Because you're healing these emotional wounds, and so you have to do a lot of nurturing and feminine maternal remothering, possibly, right? Maybe you had a narcissistic mother, and so you have to remother yourself, right? Because that's the reason, because you had that narcissistic parent, that's the reason you were attracted to narcissistic lovers and friends and business partners and work environments and thought processes. Like, you doubted yourself because that's what you initially knew to be love. That was the only reference you had for what love meant, was conditional. And so now it's like you're getting into an unconditional place. And the moon, whether the moon is illuminating the sun or not, the moon is always full. It's always there, full. Just, it's unconditional. Yeah, we have the Three of Cups, and this feels like, yeah, celebrating. Like, I'm free. You know, this is like celebrating with your friends. Maybe you're reconnecting with people or making new friends. Hi, baby. Which could be reconnecting with people that maybe you cut out during this time because it was too tumultuous, right? And so you got isolated, because that's what predators do. They don't want you to feel supported. This is getting support. And it could be a single moms group, could be a single dads group, it could be like, I feel like I'm reading for the feminine here because we've got all the feminine, but it could be, and I'm getting a lot with the maternal side, with the pregnancy, but this is like getting the support. This is getting the village that you always wanted. Maybe this person came from a big family, and you thought, oh, there's that 10 of Wands. That was a weird laugh. But that was just, confirmation. This is the burden of false passions. It's external. It's the 3D, right? Fire is the most masculine element. Earth is the most feminine, and then you are mutable as a modality, which is the modalities drive our primary element. So your primary element is fire, right, which is masculine, and then you've got this mutable energy of swords and water, right, air and water. So it's like going between your swords and your cups, your air and your water, your head and your heart. This is like And when you allow others, right? And that's the accountability part that's tough. Because you're like, I was attracted to this person. I was attracted to these situations. I believed that I needed other people's confirmation before I could make my own decisions. This is like, and here's that Four of Swords for the meditation. There's that balancing of the thoughts. You don't need anybody else's confirmation, right? You're powerful. You're the magician. And see, like this Six of Wands, this recognition, it's like they need these other people to confirm that they are worthy of being this flaming butterfly. That they are able to get into their fire power, right? So this could be like the Queen of Wands. And this is saying, I don't need all this 3D masculine external energy to tell me what to do, to determine my worth. Like I'm carrying the burden. I've got this hunchback. My back aches. Like look how this person's like a slave to their environment. This is somebody who does it themselves, right? Because they have karma, justice, karmic justice has their back. Like they're watching, someone's watching over you. But see, this magician here, this is like the pre-magician. This is the magician that there's no one around. They're doing this themselves. Like, this is the shadow worker. This is the divine alchemist. This is where the divine masculine, divine feminine both have to get before they can call themselves an emperor and empress. You can call yourself whatever you want, but before you actually get to that frequency. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, see, the Knight of Wands, pages and knights, they hold a single wand. Like they hold the ace. There's something new and exciting, and this is very Sagittarian energy. This is like, I'm fun. I'm not cold. I'm not mean. I'm not shut off. I'm not boring. I'm not lazy. Whatever those words I just keep hearing, you're not those things. This is you coming into like your playful, innocent, childish energy, having fun, like girls' night, guys' night, whatever. I mean, you could be a male that's the divine feminine. You know your truth. But this is the divine feminine, feeding into the divine feminine, nurturing, sisterhood. This is that remothering thing. I mean, you could have multiple sisters or friends that feel like sisters, right? It's that tribe, that village that you always longed for. Again, they might have had a family, and when you got together with them, or they had a lot of friends and stuff, and you maybe were very lonely, or maybe you were an only child, and you thought, you know, oh cool, like I finally have a family. You know, you could have felt kind of like isolated and orphaned. You could be an orphan, that's specific. Could have lost a parent, or again, you could have been an only child, or just there could be a big age gap between you and your siblings. And so, yeah, maybe you just spent a lot of time like by yourself, and you realize, oh, I can do this by myself. I don't need anybody else. Like, oh, everything that I've gone through my entire life has led up to this powerful place for me to construct my life how I see fit. And what you see fit is divine, it's your truth. And I love this. I love your energy coming out here. We have Temperance. And see, Temperance, there's the wings for air, it's angelic. There's something with the angels. I feel like and again, this could be me, myself, and I, body, mind, and spirit. This could be you really just self-loving, taking yourself out on self-dates. Again, you don't need anybody else to celebrate this abundance and this self-actualization. You don't need anybody else to confirm that. You will call people in to this frequency, but it starts with just you. Like, you might just be catering to the body, nurturing yourself, celebrating with yourself, by yourself, and just reveling in that. And just the fact that you go to a movie alone, the fact that you go and sit at a table at a restaurant and you don't need the armor, You don't need this false sense of protection. You can just be exposed and you can just be vulnerable, and it's okay, because you've always got this angelic support of the Queen of Swords, and you've always got this angelic support of your divine subscription, whatever you subscribe to, whatever you yeah, again with subscription. So yeah, something with social media, I feel like there's a validation, but the validation has to come within first, right? It has to be and you could be attracting someone who's, again, I feel like someone's watching you. You could be attracting a masculine who's coming into, like they're like, oh, finally, you've gotten out of that energy. You could have gotten divorced. I mean, you might not have ever been divorced, but you could have gotten divorced a long time ago, or been going through this for a long time. But I feel like it's finalizing this year energetically. This year is your year to be free from it. So again, like you could have started the process and it just took a long time. Maybe they were dicking around with the paperwork. And there's that paperwork coming in. There's that signed signature of approval from your karma, from your karmic cycle, from your angelic support. Angelic support. Again, if you have lost people, birds are beautiful confirmations of those that passed before you. Maybe you had an Aquarius mother or sister or friend or something like that, family friend, some sort of matriarch, grandmother, Pisces as well, and Scorpio. Maybe these are angelic support, ancestral support, right? It's and it is something that is like outside of you, but it's part of you, because especially if it's a mother or a grandmother or something of blood relation, they're genetically a part of you. So you carry them, and I'm getting the poem in her shoes, right? The grandmother, the sisters, the mother, they all wear the same size shoe. And so like the mother was kind of, unwell. And there's like an estrangement. There could be some sort of familial estrangement. And that's, again, you could be reconnecting with females in your bloodline, or whether that be in the 3D or the 5D. But I feel like there's some sort of support that you're getting from the feminine, matriarchal society. Yeah, you're getting feminine support, right? Could be an auntie, could be like a neighborhood auntie, right? Might not be blood relation, right? We're all connected. We're all the same shit. we're all starseeds. Right? We're all from the same stuff. So it could be bloodline for some of you, and it could maybe not be. Oh. I just had one of my neighborhood aunties message me. But I just love that you're in this angelic place. You've got like your air and you've got your water, and you're filling the yoni. See, this symbolism is of the yoni. It's the feminine. It's the divine creator. And the moon here, like this is very nurturing of the feminine. They're on the shoreline. And see, they're kind of like in an arid place. It's like, looks like desert. But then there's this beach here. So I feel like you've been dry for a long time, right? And you're feeding into yourself. You're filling yourself up. You're nourishing yourself. Something with the yoni, you might be doing yoni steaming as well. That's very specific. But you could be like literally with your body and your renovation, your glow up, whatever you want to call it, your self-revolution, evolution. You could be, nourishing that, doing like teas, saging, doing yoni steaming, taking baths, right? Really nourishing the feminine and honoring the feminine. Yeah, so there's something specific with that, like you were in with the balance, right? Your pH balance, like this person threw off your balance. And a lot of our dietary intake is based on, like, that's what a balanced diet is. It's not the pyramid scheme. It's your pH balance, right? So there's something about like getting more alkaline. This thing was very acidic, and it burned you. And so this is like you nourishing that. You got the air and you got the water. So you're in your mutable modality again, but in a balanced way. You're not back and forth between the head and the heart. You don't have to be like all intellectual and guarding your heart like this. You don't have to be blocking off and like saying, no, no, no. It's all head, it's all logic, it's all masculine energy. And then you're not in the all in your cups where you're over giving, right? Where you're giving to, you're over giving to those who don't give back, where it's non-reciprocal. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles, like there's such a beautiful glow up here with this Ace of Swords, but it's fixed. It's something, it's because you've got Pentacles, which is fixed. That's earth energy. You could be dealing with an earth sign, but this feels like Queen of Pentacles, right? It's a 9 of Pentacles, but it's pretty damn close. With the Ace of Pentacles in that 9 of Pentacles, then you've got your 10 of Pentacles. Now, if you've got the 10 of Pentacles and you're single, then that means you're a queen in that area, right? It's like you're a queendom, right? If you have the 10 of Pentacles, then that would be like a union. But this feels more like the work on the self. And of course this leads to that. Like you will attract that, but I just feel like this is self-love. You know, this is falling in love with yourself again. Self-pleasuring, self-nurturing, indulging the senses, comforting the senses, and creating a space that you really enjoy. And that is very much in the Pentacles here, right? In your Pentacle world. So instead of listening to the 3D, literally, everything that you see and touch and feel, Earth is also feminine. It's the most distinctly feminine element, right? Fire being the most masculine, Earth is the most feminine. So this is getting into the most feminine, but it's Pentacles. So it's like you're merging everything that you've practiced and done and maybe had misconceptions about of what value was, what balance was of the 3D, and you're merging it with your 5D, and it's putting you in this place where you're totally abundant in the 3D because your beliefs have matched up. Your beliefs and your behaviors are matching up. I think you were behaving for a long time in a way that did not match up with your belief systems. And so when that was neglected, it makes you guarded. It makes you, like attracts like. It made you attract people, places, things, ideas, environments that were, resonating with that disconnect. So there was no connection. Like you didn't feel any connection to anything around you. You could have been feeling very apathetic, like melancholia, some like deep depression here. Something with a Virgo I just got. But Virgo is like hermit mode. You could have been dealing with a Virgo, have a Virgo placement. Right? Virgos are all about perfection and why. And so maybe you were asking why of the things around you. But once you started to ask why of myself, what's going on in me? Why am I attracting these people? Not why are these people attracted to me? Why am I attracting them? What about these situations am I learning or needing to learn to overcome and heal and bring to an ending with this Scorpio here, so that I can create, so that I can be abundant, so that I can live in this peaceful place. And the queens also represent marriage. So this is the 9 is single. This is single energy. So you're coming from this 9 of Wands, which is your energy. Your wands were all messed up because they weren't nurtured by your modality of air and water. Your head and your heart were not aligned. So your wands were like, I don't even know who I am. Your identity was shaken. This is you completely self-actualized and in your energy with Temperance. This is you in your major arcana. This is you realigning with yourself. And when you are aligned with yourself, you can align what is true for you. You can call in what is true for you. We have the Fool. Could be dealing with an Aries or an Aquarius. Page of Swords, Ace of Wands. See, here's this Ace of Wands. Back to your energy. But I think you had to get into a fixed energy. So maybe you have a fixed or an earth sign placement. And so with the Ace of Pentacles, it's like you had to ground yourself. Because see this Ace of Swords? It's grounded from crown, which is you, the crown chakra, to ground. So you are tethered. You're like, oh, from start to finish, like this is actually all connected. Everything is connected to my divine purpose. And see how she has a crown on her head on that moon sign? Like there's something very, and the blue is like Virgin Mary. It represents the virginal path, brahmacharya. So like, and there's blue everywhere here with Temperance, the Queen of Cups. Like all these very nourishing things, something with the virginal, and also again with Virgo, it's something about purifying, sobriety, cleansing of the palate, filling of the cup. And that cleansing of the yoni, I think this person might have like, you may have contracted something with this person. You know, and so, and you could just be doing a lot of sexual healing. So it's like you're cleansing all of that. You're resetting your yoni, you're resetting your, and masculines, you can reset your yoni too, right? We all have masculine and feminine within us. There's something about the feminine that needs to be nurtured. And if you're a masculine, you dealt with a feminine who was really toxic and closed off and guarded and maybe made you jump through hoops or something like that, then, you know, take it as it resonates. Take your story as it resonates. I just feel like the healing has been a lot of feminine work. And you've worked on your health, you've worked on your money, you've worked on your mind, your mental health, your thoughts, your words, affirmations. You know, there could have been some sort of sexual trauma. And you could have had kids, you could have contracted something. Maybe this person just saw you as a sex object. There was no intimacy, so it was just maybe the sex was very cold and rough and distant. Maybe this person just cheated on you. I mean, they could have there could have been infidelity. And it's like you're re-nurturing that and you're resetting that so that way you can accept new romantic love and intimacy in a healthy, balanced way. Because see, this is the Ace of Wands. This is, you know, and your yoni is also your sexual energy. It's that death. It's your sacral chakra. So it's all your sexual energy is. You know, we often misuse it, but your sexual reproductive organs and your sacral chakra is your most powerful space, energetic resource for creative energy. And see, this Ace of Wands is like, now you've got all this new stuff. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. It's like you've got, and these are all of the self. These are all of the passion. And we got this Page of Swords. So somebody's watching. Somebody wants to bring in this Ace of Cups, I'm sure. But this is you like, oh, okay, I actually have the power to create within. Right? This is like a bean pod. I mean, it is a bean pod. It's like a little bean pod. But whenever you, all of the, it's like you're opening that in the fibers, something with the fibers. You know, you could have gotten, again, with that, with the fertility issues, right? You could be healing that as well with the yoni healing. And maybe you had fibroids, maybe you had, you know, cysts, blockages, scar tissue, right? Something with the tubes with this bean pod here. It's like maybe you had ectopic pregnancies or something. You know, but again, that was divine protection. Because just imagine if you had reproduced with this person, then that child would be in between that forever. We have the King of Cups. That's better than a Page of Cups or an Ace of Cups. That's someone who is, and so, Seven of Swords, Two of Swords, and Eight of Swords. This person's going to maybe put you in a little, you might get into a little bit of fear when this King of Cups approaches you. A little bit of sleepless nights. There's the High Priestess again. Just remember that you've done all the work. You might be really wary that you're going to attract the same cycle again. Just take it slow. The Devil. Yeah, there's fear that you're going to be repeating a cycle, but the Ten of Swords tells me that you've ended that cycle. The Hierophant. Could be dealing with a Taurus, but the High Priestess and the High Priest, it's more confirmation that you're tuned in. King of Swords. Okay, so yeah, if the King of Cups makes you feel kind of threatened, like the water makes you feel threatened, you can give water to yourself, right? You can fill your own cup. But if somebody comes in to try and, you might be like, I need to see if their cup is, I need to ask them some questions. This King of Swords tells me this person is, right? We got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, and the King of Cups and the King of Swords. This person is going to be okay with you asking them questions. They're going to be okay, and I feel like it's because they've seen, maybe this person knows this ex that you dealt with. Maybe this person has been in your, maybe this was a friend that you cut out during that time, right? Either way, I feel like somehow they've been watching you, or they just understand you, but you're going to be able to have conversations with this person, and they're going to answer any questions that you have. They are okay with going through the gauntlet for you because they just get it. They've been watching you. They've been witnessing it. This is your person, right? So they see you. There's a complete understanding here. You know, we have the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. You guys are going to collaborate and work together. There's going to be a partnership here. And it's just you two. I feel like it's going to feel like you two against the world. So instead of being isolated because of the person, it's not like you're isolating, but you're okay just with this person. I feel like it's you two against the world. This kind of gives me a Braveheart thing, where they like sneak off into the thing. I don't feel like you have to hide this. But see that sword that had the tether, this is like the vow you are making to each other, the unbreakable vow. This person has been through the, I don't want to say the exact same thing, but and yeah, maybe you don't want to maybe make a big deal about it, because there could be a little bit of fear about this past person coming in or trying to mess with it. Just know, when you come into this Four of Wands, this is your match. This is your divine union here. This is the 11-11. Past people aren't going to have any influence here. Page of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it could be an earth sign because we've got Three of Pentacles. We've got a lot of Pentacles here. And I feel like the Pentacles, since that Ace of Pentacles realization, realizing it's like this grounded person. And maybe because they're so opposite from you, because they don't have swords, water, and fire as their trifecta of elements. Maybe because they're so different from you, they just offer something that you've been longing for. They offer this grounding that you've been looking for, that you've needed. Somebody that you can build with, right? Someone that you can partner up with. And this is a partnership. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get married. And maybe that's kind of the thing here, is like, it's not a conventional marriage. It's not a conventional, you know, maybe you guys are just gonna like have some people over and have a barbecue or have a like a party or a gathering or something. But I feel like if you did that with the other person and it was all like on paper and all of that, I don't think that you maybe want to do that again. And I was just looking at Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell to see, you know, how long they've been together or whatever. And they've never been married, you know, but they've stayed together, because I found out that Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins split up, and I mean, that was back in 2009. But I didn't know that. And yeah, it's kind of like, if you're in the public eye, right, those people who have to like post about their wedding and all that, maybe you had the big wedding and everything like that with this last person, if they had a lot of family or friends and they were a narcissist, and like, especially if they were like a grandiose, maybe there was like a lot of, maybe it cost a lot of money, and it was like, it had to be a big to-do because the egos had to all be satiated, which egos are never satiated. But we have wish fulfillment here with the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. There's that 10 of Pentacles. So again, more confirmation. This person is actually going to offer you the more grounding. So maybe you're with a water sign and you thought that would really nourish your cups and fill your cup, but that person was just a taker. They were unpredictable. They were emotionally unstable. And this person is stable. This person's well-rounded. This is your wish. This is your wish fulfillment. But it is a result of your energy and the work that you have done on your energy and your frequency, and cleansing and all of the work that it has taken you to get to a place where you were independent and not reliant on the system. And again, I feel like you guys are just going to be partners in everything, but I don't necessarily think that it's going to be like a legal marriage. I think, and maybe both of you have been through that and you're like, yeah, we don't want to do that again. It's a waste of money, it's a waste of resources, it's all like ego based. Let's just like go away together for the weekend, go into the woods, go camping, something in nature, and just like, yeah, go for a hike. And maybe you'll like say your vows, maybe you'll write vows to each other, or just have a conversation that's like a vow exchange. But I don't think it's going to be, conventional. So, but it is your person. So, full circle here. I'm glad that all of that came out, because, you know, I didn't want to give to that narcissist, but I feel like that was a major component. That was a very heavy burden that you were bearing. And so wherever you are in that timeline, I just hope that there was something in here for you that offers a little bit of hope or clarity, that you're on the right path. Keep on the path of truth, the divine path, and it will all work out better than you could have ever expected. Everything that you dreamed of, you're not crazy, it's coming. So that was quite a long reading. But again, hopefully there's something in here. So I love you, Sagittarius. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those of you who decided to stick around and hold space for others. If this didn't resonate completely, or if you feel like you've already gone through this, you know, you're doing light work here. So we're raising the collective frequency together as one. That 3 of Cups, that support. Let's support each other and get through this. Get through it. Because the other side is very, very bright and shiny, Sagittarius. So until next time, I wish you well.